Hi, welcome to Coach D's Volleyball Stream. Today we are going to cover volleyball positions for beginners, explaining all the positions and making sure that you really understand what you're getting yourself into and not shying away from certain positions. Now, in future videos, we are going to go and break down each position and what they entail, but we're going to look at the positions today. First position, position number 1, is the outside hitter. The outside hitter is a position that you must be able to not only hit, they usually hit from the left side, okay, but you must also be able to pass. Hitting and passing on that serve receive. That is so important. A lot of coaches take that outside hitter and they look at that outside hitter as a dominating force, where that person brings it home in a great set to the outside. So that outside hitter is extremely important. They're vocal. They know where they're going to place the ball. They pass. They move. They're athletic. When they move to the back row, they're actually also athletic as well, because outside hitters in the back row can hit from the back row. The second position is a middle. Some people like to call it a middle hitter or middle blocker, depending on which side of the net the ball is on. The middles, in using football terms, can be explained as an offensive-defensive line. They're the first line of defense that you would have, because a middle blocker would go side to side, either from the middle to the right to the left, to help block the ball or at least slow it down. That's what the middle blocker would do. Middle blocker goes to middle hitter. When it comes on our side, they can get that quick one ball or the two in the middle. And that could draw off the other middle, so now we can get a single block for our outside or our right side, or possibly leaving the setter open for a dump. The third position is a setter. The setter is the captain of the offense, the quarterback of the team. The setter is responsible for obviously setting the outside, the middle, right side, back row, okay, can do dumps, but they also are responsible for getting to that second ball. They are quick, they're athletic, they're thinkers, their volleyball IQ is high. A lot of young ladies shy away from the setter position because of the responsibility. But I'll tell you now, as a coach, we really look towards that setter, because that setter usually wants the ball. They demand the ball. They love that second ball. Every once in a while, yeah, they would like to hit. But setters are actually people that are athletic thinkers, and they're actually always setting people to the outside, the middle, or the right side, or even the back row. Our fourth position, which a lot of young ladies go for, is a libero position. That's the one that wears these different color jersey. They're primarily a back row player. They never rotate to the front row. Now, liberos, the thing people say about them is that they're the captain of the defense. You ask a libero, where on the floor is that ball hers? She will say everywhere. Libero basically directs the defense. They yell. They basically are the energy of that particular defense. In certain defenses, libero may be on the left back, or they may be on the middle back, really depending on your defensive schemes. Now, the libero, a lot of people want to be that person because of the responsibility, but oddly enough, no one wants to be the setter. In that case, always find that at tryouts and everything along those lines. Setters are usually setters, and people try to be libero oftentimes. Now, the other positions, the right side, which in a 5-1, the right side in the front row is opposite the setter. They usually play in the front row. They're an awesome hitter and an awesome blocker. They usually help out the middle, block the outside. They're there as a right side option for the setter. so that way they can actually use that option. So in terms of the actual volleyball positions, that right side is, generally speaking, an awesome hitter and very athletic. And one of the final positions is a defensive specialist, a DS as some people like to call it. The DS is responsible for coming in the back row. They're not in the whole time like a libero, but they may be subbed for a middle, an outside, or a right side. So keep that in mind. A DS is someone that is also a defensive demon. They can pass the ball on a serve receive as well. Now, on a tryout, people ask coaches, what are the positions should I try out for? Well, whatever it is, and we're going to break down the positions, make sure that you choose one of these four, and I'll explain why. 1, setter. 2, outside. 3, middle. 4, libero. Don't try out for a right side or a DS. They put you there, don't dispute it, but usually a good right side was an outside or a middle, believe it or not. Or a really good DS was a competition that was happening for the libero. So you just moved out of the person to the DS. So understanding that, hey, you don't really need to try out for those positions, because if you go for those 4 primary positions of outside, middle, setter, and libero, the other positions on the actual team will fill in by the coach. For example, a middle that may be too slow, but also middle and can hit, will wind up on the right side. Okay? Or a libero that actually is a better libero, but is really, really good. I need that person to help my outside hitter out, so I'm going to rotate that person around to the back row as a DS. So I wanted to explain these positions to you, and I wanted to make sure that you guys understand them. We will break down the positions in further detail in other lessons, but I wanted you guys to get a little look at it. Thank you guys for today tuning in, and later we'll get to other positions. Thanks, guys.